This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, very good morning. Today
Good
we will
morning, sir.
see how to automate or how to select item from the mouse over. So we can see like mouse over an element. Okay. So generally, like we have seen how to write a program to enter in a text box, and we are able to write a program to click on a button, click on a link, and click on a radio button and checkbox. Everything we have seen. Right now, how to mouse over an element. Here you can see uh, we cannot click on the element directly. Once we mouse over, then only we can able to click on that, right? So if you want to select or if you want to click on users, we need to mouse over admin, and then after mouse over on the admin element, again we need to mouse over on the user management, then we need to mouse over on the users link. Sorry, we need to click on this users link. Okay, right. So we also have other modules like PIM. See, so if you want to click on these links, we need to mouse over the configuration again. But if you want to click on employee list, just mouse over on the PIM and you can able to click on this directly. This one again, mouse over is there. We need to mouse over on that element and then next sub element we need to click. After mouse over, if element is directly there, we can directly click on that. Same concept for all mouse over. Now we would see how to click on this users link by mouse overing different elements. So I'm creating a class file and just writing a class name like mouse over one, taking a main method for now. Right. Now we need to open a browser, right? So as we know, like WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver dot setup. Create an object for the WebDriver interface for Chrome driver class. Okay, so these two lines, as we know, like these two lines will open a browser. Now and enter a URL driver.get. Okay, okay, right. Now after entering the URL, we need to enter a username and password, right? So inspect the element, name, text username, ID text username. Okay, so we can use either attribute here. If you want to use XPath, just right click, copy XPath. That is also fine. But we can also go with the default locators like name or ID, either one. You can go with the name, driver dot find element by dot ID. You can also take ID. Send keys. Copying the text username. We have username here. Right. Again, next we need to enter password. So again, same. Inspect the password element. Right. Next, click on that element. See here, generally there is one more enhancement we can observe here. We will enter a username, password. Then generally without clicking on a button, we will click on enter button. The password element itself, we click on enter button. It is taking us to the next page or it is allowing us to log in. That we can perform here. So after entering the password, comma, we can write like keys, Selenium. This is a WebDriver package only, open keyword.selenium dot enter. We can use all the keyboard options here, not only enter. If you want to press tab, you can press tab as well. So all the keyboard options depends on the requirement. So for now, we can use enter. So we no need to write a separate line to click on a button now. It's automatically take us to the next page. It will allow us to click on login button. Let us execute once. It entered username, password and clicked on enter button as well. Right? If you want, I am executing one more time. Right. Okay. So we have done. So no extra line. We removed one extra line here, like kind of enhancement this one. Right. Now the next step, we need to click on a user's link. User's link is not direct approach here. We need to mouse over on the admin element. Again, mouse over on the user management element. Then only we are able to see this link. So the same manual navigation we have to write automation script. Mouse over an admin element, user management element, and then users link. Okay, right. So inspect this admin element. Right. Again, we have like ID is there. You can take that. Here, driver dot find element by dot. We have selected ID, right? So okay. So here one more enhancement need to learn. So find element return type is web element. So this element identifies a one element, or it also returns like a one web element. If we want to save this line in one variable, you need to take data type as a web element. Okay, so web element, write down, and this is like admin element. Import this package web element. That's it. We can able to save this element in a one variable. How we return after writing this driver dot find element, we are seeing this return type web element. The same thing we have written over here, and one variable we have taken to store that element. Okay, let me write this line again for you to make you understand. Okay, driver dot find element by dot id. Okay, right. So find element returns web element, that to package of OpenQA.Selenium WebDriver, WebDriver package. It's a package inside of WebDriver. Okay, so web element, I'm storing it in a variable like, and then admin element. We already imported a package web element. That's the reason it is not giving an error. If not, so we need to import that. Place cursor on that. Import web element OpenQA Selenium. That's it. Why we are storing it in a variable instead of directly performing an action on that element? We'll see now. So mouse over an element. To mouse over an element, create an object for action class. Create an object for action class. So simple, action class. As we know the syntax, right? Class name, object name equal to new action, and it requires one WebDriver object that we need to provide. That's it. Then using this object, we can able to select the action class method to mouse over on the element that we will see now. Okay, right. Create an object for action class to mouse over an object. So action, this is very important. Whenever you want to take action class, which date package, here you can see action J, JavaX there, some OpenQA Selenium interactions there, AWT event there, listener there. Okay, so we need to select actions one, Selenium or OpenQA.Selenium.interactions. These are all, so far we are seeing only Selenium related. There are some scenarios are there. We would select the other packages as well. So make sure we are selecting this package whenever you want to create an object for the action class. Equal to new actions. It is asking the driver object. We already created a driver object here. Right. Okay. Then this is the reference now. This is the reference for the action class. Okay. So action dot move to element. Which element you want to move to mouse over on that element? Admin element. We already taken this element in a one variable. So that's the reason we are writing directly here. Admin element dot build dot perform. That's it. It will mouse over on that element. here we have saved this element in a one variable like admin element, and we are using that. Instead, generally it would be like this: action dot move to element, which element that we would write here, driver dot find element by dot id, then dot build dot profile. Line length is increasing. To avoid that line length, and it is seeing like very lengthy line, it's some complexity program. To avoid that confusions, we are saving it in a one variable like admin element, and we are using that. So in this, you can say like, or you can use either this line to write a mouse over on the element, or you can write directly like this. But we need to learn the enhancements. We need to observe the code enhancement and how to build a good program, how to write a good script. So to make it more understandable or more readable. If we write like this, it is like a more readable, more understandable. It is like, it is not like readable. We need to observe like this. It's also readable, but compared to the, this is high readable and this is less readable. Okay, this is like enhancements we need to follow. Let us execute this way first, and then we can uncomment and we can execute this one also. Okay, right. See, admin element mouse over. We just written script up to mouse over on the admin element. It is mouse over. Right. So we can comment this line. So see, same behavior. Okay, right. So I would suggest to learn this kind of enhancements, follow that. Okay, right. Now mouse over on the admin element is done. The next step is to mouse over on the user management element. Inspect this element. ID is there. Again, we can store it in a one variable. Driver dot find element by dot ID. Okay, we are just identifying. We want to identify. Find element returns a one web element. You can see finds the first web element using the given method. Okay, right. Web element. It finds a web element. Based on this locator, it will find the first web element in the page. Okay, so now I want to save it in a one variable. The data type we need to take like a web element. Web element, and this is user element. Okay, we already taken the data type of web element imported here. That's the reason no need to write again. If you write it like lowercase case sensitive, it will ask us to change it to, it will show error, then place a cursor, change it to web element. That's it. Done. We already created object for action class, so you can simply use the same object. Action dot move to element dot which element, user element or admin user element dot build dot perform. That's it. Now we can observe. See, this time user management also like mouse over. Now the last one, now we need to simply click on this users link. Line is like mouse over and admin element. This one is for users management element. Okay. Then as the tag name is A, it is a link, so we can use directly link text to click on that. Driver dot find element by dot link text users dot click. As a browser may take time to load the element, it is recommended to add the implicit wait every time. Driver dot manage dot timeouts dot implicit wait 30 seconds general default time unit dot seconds. Okay, right. This is login program. Let us execute now. Users link also clicked. The next actions, you know how to write a script to text box. Just inspect the element. That send a keys. Drop down, we know. Create an object for select a class to select the item from the drop down. Such. Okay, right. So let us try another example here. This is we have done. See, leave, apply leave. So after mouse over on the leave for apply, we don't have like sub mouse over. Just mouse over on this element and then click on directly apply link. So we can inspect this element. Leave, we have ID. Okay, so what we can do, I'm just copying this existing script. Go to that class file, same program. Okay, removing this one also to discuss it again. Okay, so after login, I want to apply for a leave. Okay, no leave types with leave balance. Okay, the second is this one. First, I just want to click on this apply leave. Whatever it is available, I want to check. Okay, first, let's see my leave. Okay, let's say you want to see your leaves. Okay, leave and my leave. Okay, so we already inspected this element. Okay, so what we need to do, create an object for action class. So in interview, they will ask how to mouse over on the element using Selenium. We need to create an object for action class. Then that action object dot move to element, that element which we want to mouse over, that element, and then build dot perform. This way we need to tell like how to mouse over on the element. Okay. So create an object for action class to mouse over on the element. So actions action equal to new actions of driver object we already created, means it mouse over on this browser only, which whatever the program is open on this browser only perform your actions. Now move to element, which element, that we need to save it in a variable. Okay, driver dot find element by dot id. Inspect the leave id, take the id. It is a label, right? So we just need to take the top actual element attributes and find element returns web element. So which element, this one, leave element. Okay, web element import, place a cursor, it will show the suggestions. Change import web element OpenQA Selenium, it is imported. Okay, right? So move to element, which element, leave element, then dot build dot perform. That was, it will mouse over on that element. Now click on apply leave, click on apply or my leave. If you want to click on add entitlement, again you need to mouse over on the entitlement and then click on it. Reports again same. So it is simple. Driver dot find element by dot id dot click. Now this is direct element. It's not a mouse over element. This is, you can directly click on that. Apply also say. In case of entitlement, again we need to mouse over on this entitlement. For example, inspect entitlements. Goes another script. Let us copy. So mouse over on the leave is done. Then entitlement. So action. We already have objects. action dot. So first save it in a variable for enhancing code or readable code. Driver dot find element y dot id. Okay. So find element returns web element. So save it in a web element variable. So this is entitlement. We can give any name, but user friendly name. So what this element refers to, better to give that element name. Web element import, change it. So as we are written in a case, in a lowercase, right? This Java is case sensitive. So just change it to like this. That's it. Then action dot move to element dot entitle element dot build dot perform, and then add entitlement. Inspect this. So as this is a tag name is A, okay, we can directly use link text, or we can also ID is there. We can use ID also. Fine, no issues. Driver dot find element by dot ID dot click. So depends on application behavior only. How we are navigating manually, the same way we need to write a script. Mouse over on the leave element and then mouse over on the entitlement and then click on the link in this case. Here, just mouse over on the element and then click on the link directly. The first script also same. Mouse over on the admin element and so again one more mouse over, then click on the user's link. If one mouse over is there, you just need to mouse over on that and then click on that link. Right? So this is the way we need to write a script to mouse over on the element. If one mouse over is there, just mouse over on that, click on a link, write a script, directly click on the link. After mouse over, again one more mouse over is there to click on this add entitlements, employee my entitlements. So you need to mouse over again. See this one, you can directly write a click a script. After mouse over on the PIM, directly write a script to click on employee list separate, add employee or reports. Configurations, again you need to mouse over and then click on the links. Let's say like hierarchy is going on. The same way we need to mouse over on that and then finally we need to click on that. Okay, that's it. This is the way we need to mouse over on the elements.